Nabokov taught at Wellesley College, where I was a student. He taught courses in the Russian language, beginning with beginning grammar. He was himself the entire Russian department. And he taught a course of Russian literature in translation, Russian 201. Mr. Nabokov was our teacher, and we found him dashing and extraordinary.
These will be interviews with people who knew Nabokov at Wellesley. These are not to be made public. Collected by Barbara Breasted, Associate Professor in the English Department.
He was about 45 then, and he was an almost unknown writer in this country.
He was terribly poor then. He often had patches on his clothes. It was very difficult for him. Few of us had any idea that an eminent Russian novelist was to be our teacher.
He was, I realize now, the first teacher I ever had who was at home in literature, for he was himself part of it.
Tall.
In the gayest, most natural, most charming way in the world, he opened the door and led us into the world of Russian literature.
Thin.
It would be unfortunate if these notes were used injudiciously, particularly while Mr. and Mrs. Nabokov are alive.
His effect was like adrenaline. Today in class, Mr. Nabokov said it was good to hear Russian spoken again.
Really? What a nice compliment.
Yes, he said it was just like being back in Moscow.
Is he from Moscow?
No, St. Petersburg. His method of teaching is, to say the least, amusing.
He told us that Turgenev's sentences were long and low and curved up on the ends like lizards' tails.
He would suddenly appear in the doorway, look wildly at the buzzing students and stutter, "Can this be my class?"
Chekhov's world was dove gray.
Some of the students are rather confused by his nervousness and subtle remarks.
He described the liquid blue world of, was it Lomonosov?
Others of us sit and giggle throughout the period.
Early the second semester, Mr. Nabokov told us he had graded the Russian writers, and we must write down their grades in our notebooks and learn them by heart.
We were madly in love with him. He was a marvelous man. Kind, thoughtful, gentle. He always started off the class with some marvelous anecdote.
Tolstoy was an A+, Pushkin and Chekhov were A, Turgenev A-, Gogol was a B+, and Dostoevsky was a C-, or was he a D+?
I think he was the most charming man I've ever met. He was a perfect gentleman. He was what the word gentleman meant.
Sometimes he had headaches for day, and then his wife came to class in his stead and read his lecture for the day.
He said he liked small-breasted women. My goodness, I do not think you should mention that to Professor Breasted.
In 2 days, he would be back again, talking, it seemed, not reading, telling us everything as if it had only at that moment marvelously occurred to him to say it that way.
His voice is deep, vibrant, capable of great variety of tone and pitch.
His words, his one